if you remember me, if you were here a week ago, we're gonna do the same thing, but we're gonna talk about something else. Yeah. Today, I wanted to talk about like gender, gender equality in China. Might be a sensitive topic, but I think it would be fun.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah.
我加慢点赞点关注，对对对。然后我们刚开播，然后我们今天要讨论的那个英语学习的话题叫做，就是性别上的不平等，right？就是然后大家可以尽量的参与进来，然后点赞点关注，谢谢大家。然后这个 A 哥是下面那款，就是下面那个小风车上面的一个老师 ，he's an instructor. So basically, what we're doing here is like we're doing something like a demonstration. So if you guys want to kind of like check it out, like this is what you're gonna get, okay? So yeah, let's talk about gender equality then.
Sure. Yes. Okay, guys, we have a little sensitive topic today, but I think it's good to talk about. Well, as you know, guys, I usually focus more on professional English, right? So I wanted to talk about gender equality in China, in education, and in the workplace. So, but the questions are not too difficult. First, I'm going to ask Kate what she thinks about that. And then I'm going to ask you guys in the chat to tell me what you think about it, okay? Just like before. So, the first question that I wanted to talk about is about education. Kate, I want to ask you, do you think boys and girls in China have the same access to good education today, like primary, secondary, and also higher education?
Well, I would still say it depends. When it comes to like those like rural areas, I would say it's more likely some parents are going to like think highly of boys, and there are like some girls, if they have like a daughter and they have a son, and it's very like and they have like only like a limited money, they would actually think they should like use like this limited amount of money for their son to go to school instead of like their daughters. Well, this still exists, but I would say like in some like like cities and like where like people are more open-minded, I would definitely say well, both boys and girls can access to like education in a pretty fair way. So yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's quite interesting, right? Because I heard something, right, about the one-child policy when it was still in effect in China, that a lot of parents would prefer boys for some reason, and that's why you have like more boys than girls in the country. Is that right?
Well,
or is it fake?
It is true for a certain period of time. I mean, like I've just mentioned before, it still depends on like what kind of like ideas and like values like those parents and families are actually holding. I mean, in some like cities, like they even like prefer daughters over boys, over sons. I mean, it's what it really like it depends on the family.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I understand. That's quite interesting. So, of course, it depends on the families, right? But there was a period when sons were preferred in some way, but nowadays it's a bit different, right?
Yeah, I would say so, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's right. So, I want to ask you about it too then. Why has it changed?
I think one thing is because like people are more open-minded, and also there is a thing called like feminism that is going on that like actually like helping people, helping women, I would say, to fight for their rights. The rights for like like a receiving education and like as a way like a guy can, and also like the opportunities they can actually go out to work. Yeah, education, work, and the like like the equal rights to do the things that guys are allowed to do. I think that's the reason why like these days like guys and girls can be like admitted like access to like a lot of like jobs and like education opportunities in a pretty much like a fair way, I would say.
Okay, yes, I got it. Very interesting. So guys, how about you in the chat? Can you tell me what you think about this question? Do you think boys and girls in China have the same access to good education today? Here are some options for you. A, yes, opportunities are equal now. B, somewhat. Big cities are more equal, but rural areas are different. And C, no, there are gaps in cities and in the countryside. What do you guys think?
大家觉得说现如今的社会里面，就是说男女就是接受到男孩子女孩子接受到平等教育的那个已经是差不多是一样的了吗？还是说大家觉得说就差不多是一样的，但是一些贫困地区的话还是不一样的？Like feel free to share your opinions. You can type your answer, share your perspective in the comment section.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks for the tag. 咱们可以点赞点关注。Well, basically, Igor is an instructor on the app called like the Many, right down below. 下面是不是有一个小封测链接？然后 Igor 是这个小封测链接上的一个英语老师。如果大家有需要的话，可以点击下载这个软件。然后 Igor 是上面的老师，然后上面还有各种各样不一样的老师。然后他是一个雅思口语考官，然后也包括他是本身本科，他就是学的是经济的。如果大家有关于什么商业上的 business English 就商务英语，或者说要有工作面试，都可以。Yes, I'm having a cold, or like I'm actually suffering from COVID. Yeah, I think it's pretty obvious, huh? Like my voice sounded a little bit like different. It's a bit off. I mean, don't really sound like a truck driver, but more or less getting there. So yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but like not really like not many people are actually like like responding to our question somehow. Yeah.
Come on, guys. Share your opinion. Do you think boys and girls have the same opportunities for education in China? You can just say A, right? A, it means yes, equal opportunity. B, it means somewhat. In cities, yes, but in rural areas, not really. And C, no, there are many gaps still. I see that someone said A. Yeah, someone said A, so they think that it's equal opportunity. Someone said that according to statistics, there are more female students in colleges and universities now. So like more female students than male students. What do you think about this, Kate? About this fact?
I don't think this is true though. I mean, basic. Do you think this is true? Like, I never seen this like a statistic like that before in my life, so I don't want to really like like provide people with like wrong information or whatever. But I don't think it's true though. According to like like the birth rate or whatever, I would still say like the male takes like a more proportion in the whole population in China.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But maybe now it's different. That's because for some boys, maybe for some sons, they kind of usually they like in general in Europe, and in other countries, usually women nowadays complete higher education because like men, they usually kind of get worse grades overall, and sometimes they kind of drop out quite a lot. And also they don't go to university sometimes because they want to get into like labor basically and start actually working right away. Because they can't or because they don't want to, like this is what happens in Europe. So maybe in China now it's kind of similar. Maybe the statistics are about cities,
I wouldn't really say so because like as far as I know, actually like Chinese people think really highly of like education somehow, and even like those people from like poor families or like like rural areas, I would still think like those parents know like knowledge is actually like, the only way for them to actually change their life somehow. They would actually prefer their kids to go to school and go to universities. So I wouldn't really say because the gender thing, like the guys are more likely to like to be the labor thing or do the labor work, and they just wouldn't like really go to like universities or whatever. I think this is actually like still like the thing in China. Chinese people really think highly of education, especially for kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's quite interesting. Yeah. I mean, yes, I guess it depends on the culture too, right? I know that in, especially like in East Asian countries like Korea, Japan, and China, education is like super important.
Very,
right?
very important. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So let's change the question then. Thank you guys, whoever answered, thank you, right? And you guys, there are like more than 1,000 of you here. So try to answer as well. A, B, C, pretty easy to type. Don't be shy. Share what you think about this. So let's move on to the next question. Now, I want to ask you about some subjects. There is this expression that we use, and it's called male dominated, right, guys? If you know what it means, right, it means that mostly this area or the subject is done by men, right? So I want to ask you, Kate, which subject areas are still seen as male dominated areas? Is it like engineering or something like that? What do you think?
Well, like when it comes to to majors, especially when boys and girls are entering universities or colleges, like they're more likely like girls are more likely to choose like arts related thing, and guys are more likely to go like science, math sort of thing. And because I think in a way like the brain is like a little bit different. I mean, this is like a physical difference, I would say. Guys are more good at like logics and logical thinking. So when it comes to like engineering, like really like theoretical stuff, like guys are more likely to do better than girls. So yeah, I would say like this is true.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say like
that's quite interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, some people they say that yes, it's like the thing about the right-brained, left-brained, right-brained, and so on, right? It's like left-brained. It's like focus more on arts and so on, creative things. So yeah, and some people are saying that it's because of genetics. Some people are saying that's because of the way that you grow up. Yeah, I'm not really sure. I think it's both at the same time, but it's quite true. I think that still science is still dominated by men. Yes. So, but another thing that I noticed, for example, I studied finance, and usually there were a lot of guys, a lot of men in this field. But in my class, it was very different. It was like 2/3 were women and 1/3 were men. So it has changed quite a lot, I think, over the past few years. What do you think about these changes?
Well, in a way, I think because like I've mentioned, because like the feminism, because like the gender equality is actually like improving somehow, and sometimes because like there are like some feminists involved in this sort of like education, like in this kind of like activities. And for example, like those rich people, they're actually having daughters, and they would like literally want their daughter to learn like I don't know economy, to like help like get them to manage like their company, like before it's more like like those males are going to take the leadership of like everything, but like these days, because like they think their daughters are also like capable and qualified to do that. And when it comes to like like leadership, I mean, it's not really like you have to like lift up something like really heavy in a physical way. If like a woman is like actually smart and intelligent, I think she would be able to manage this as well. So I think, and also like economy is not really only like super like engineering, like super like related to like mathematicals like that much. And especially when it comes to management as well, like human resource sort of thing. I think that's like why women are more likely to like like take these majors, for example, like economy, because like this is actually like for both genders, and both of them can actually like do pretty well in this. Of course, I'm not
it's
really.
Kind of a mix. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not really talking about like the real context. For example, when you're actually like entering like I don't know a company, then probably still I would say the most leaders are like still like guys and males. But like as for like studying this like major, I think both men and women like should be like access to this like in a pretty fair way, because basically they pay the same amount of money and they can just get this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Economics, right, and business and so on. For the most part, it's kind of a mix. Humanities mixed with a little bit of math, right? So I guess that's why we can see a mix over here as well. But engineering, right, and science and stuff, it is a little bit harder here to find women, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But it is still there, right? We can still see that. So yeah, that's true. Okay, guys, I want to ask you in the chat, okay? I want to ask you, which subject areas are seen as female dominated? Not male, but female dominated in China. Please type it in the comments. Maybe it's arts or humanities or I don't know, nursing, Okay, something like that. What do you guys think? Which are female-dominated areas?
大家觉得说在中国什么专业，还是说是女性更加为主的？就是说什么专业是女生学的会比较多的？大家可以就是列举出来。我黑风也嗨福先生，hi good to see you。就是他说是就是在中国什么专业是女性为主的？People are saying like languages, nursing, accounting, and also like fashion industry, dancing, language, education,
marketing.
Yeah.
A lot of people are saying nurse.
Yeah, nursing. 对，生病了，家人们生病了，得了新冠，家人们得了新冠，嗓子不太对劲。I'm sorry. Teaching also like teaching industry, yeah, nursing a lot. 谢谢 Crystal, thank you. Good to see you. Yeah, nursing.
Yeah, someone said like front desk. I guess you mean receptionists or something like that.
Yeah, I would say yeah, receptionists.
Tourism, babysitters, kindergarten teachers, stewardess.
People are saying doctors as well, like medical stuff.
Yeah. Okay, live streamers.
Pedicure? What do you mean? 他们好多美。
So it's like nail salon workers.
Like massaging industry? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe like a lot of service sectors, I think.
我们说的是学校里学的专业啦，兄弟们，怎么美甲都是个专业了啦？啊，那你们这种叫美容美发专业啦，怎么强行美甲是个专业？Well, anyways, yeah, I think like most people are actually saying like nursing sort of thing and like yeah, teaching, yeah.
Yeah, physicians. I think physicians is kind of mixed, you know. Like at least here in Thailand, I think it's like men and women. I see both. Yeah. Okay, sure. That's right. Very nice, guys. So many answers. Thank you. Thank you for answering this question. Let's move on to the next one, and let's see what you think about it after that, okay? But first, I'm going to ask Kate, all right? So I want to ask Kate. Kate, tell me, what do you think is the biggest challenge for women when they're entering the job market in China? Is it like hiring process? Maybe sometimes there is gender discrimination there. Or is it like maybe a pressure from families to start, their own family and marriage, or maybe like something like that? What do you think is the biggest challenge for women when they enter the workforce?
I would actually say like the family issues. When it comes to like, I mean, like this has something related to like the hiring process as well at the very beginning, I would say, because basically these days people are actually looking for like those women who are not really likely to get married very soon, or like people already married, already like giving birth to like their kids already. Otherwise, there is such a thing called like like a maternal leave or something. If this actually happened, like the employers have to pay the salaries, but without they coming to work. So this could be a loss for the family, loss for like the company. So I think like they would actually take this into consideration, and also like because like the certain sort of like like stereotypes, not even a stereotype. This is actually like the fact that women are more likely to take more care of like the family somehow, of like the kids, and also like the housework, and guys are more likely like to be like the bread earner or whatever. So when it comes to like an employer who are about to like hire a person, they actually want to make sure like this woman could actually like put a lot of like her like attention on the work. Otherwise, why would I like hire a woman who's like about to like get married and give a birth to a baby and like need to like take care of the family and so much? I mean, this would definitely cause a lot of issues. So I think like the family is actually like a very big problem somehow.
Yeah, that's quite interesting. Yes, I can see that, right? And it's been like that for ages, right? So there is discrimination in terms of that because employers don't want to hire someone who is going to be absent for a while, right? So they cannot really milk the productivity out of that person. So I can understand it, but at the same time, it's quite unfair, right? It gives fewer opportunities to women to actually succeed, right?
Yeah, true.
Yeah, that's right. But what do you think is the solution to that?
Well, actually, this is like something pretty funny, because like in some European countries, I would say like for example like Germany, I mean like the
Mhm.
dads are more likely to take care of like the kids, while like the women could be asking for like a maternal leave. Like I think the dads could like asking for a leave as well to take care of the baby as well. But like
Yeah.
in China, there's no such a thing. But in Germany and in
Mhm.
Europeans, there are actually like rules like out, like policies like that out that could actually help like those women to release their pressure and like the inequality that would might be happening in like the work field. This is like a one thing, like the policy thing. Another thing is
Mhm.
like I think like the society needs to change the idea of like like you're a woman, you're the mom, you should take more care of like the family and the kids. If like
Mhm.
people's perspectives like changed, for example like a dad like should also like take as much responsibility as a woman does, then probably
Mhm.
like when it comes to like job hiring or whatever, and people wouldn't really take that much like consideration or like a focus like attention on like whether this woman would pay like enough attention to their job, because like for both men and women they have to do the same thing for their family.
Mhm.
If like everybody's like thinking like that without like like the prejudice and like the discrimination, and things are gonna be like way better.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. I get it for sure. Yes, like this is the thing. So they have maternal leave for women, and this is what they call it paternal leave.
Paternal leave.
Paternal leave, yes, for men, which is quite interesting. It's not the same, of course, as for women. In some countries, it exists. Not all the European countries, like it
Yeah.
doesn't exist in Eastern Europe, but exists in Western Europe, like in the Scandinavian countries, of course. And they get like a few months or a few weeks, I don't remember exactly, off, where the father can also take care of the child during that time. Yes. And I guess another thing is that their childcare system is pretty, very well developed. So you can kind of give the child into the childcare, right? Give it to them, they will take care of it. And yes, how about this in China, by the way? How about the childcare system in China? When can you give the child to the childcare?
Like I have no idea about that, but I guess if you have enough money, you can give your child to that like at any time. Well, this is actually about money.
Yeah, but it's not free, right?
What?
It's not free, right?
It's
It's
not
not like
free.
guaranteed, only if you have money.
Yeah, it's all about money, I think. I mean, if you have money, like basically you can like have somebody to take care of your kid like once like the kid was born. It's all about
Yeah.
money. Like basically people like can't don't really have that much money to have somebody take care of
Mm.
their kids, and sometimes like they're like a little bit worried whether those people actually would be able to take care of their kids, because like the babies cannot really talk and like communicate with people if people are actually treating them like badly, poorly, sometimes even like like illegally in a way.
Mm.
So yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of crazy. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and in the United States, someone mentioned the United States in the comments. Well, actually, there it's also pretty bad. They don't really have a subsidized childcare system, or like very, very poorly. So people still have to pay for all of this stuff quite a lot. Childcare is pretty expensive there too.
Very, very expensive.
So yeah, it's like Europe. Europe, in terms of Europe, they have a pretty well developed system there, especially Germany and stuff like that. I think pretty good there. Okay, guys. Now, how about you? What do you think are the biggest challenges, the biggest difficulties for women when they, enter the workplace? Is it, I don't know, childcare, right? Or is it family pressure? Or is it discrimination when they get hired? Can you type this in the comments, please?
大家觉得说，那个比如说女性在职场中得到一些不太公平的待遇，很大的一个原因是，比如说是家庭因素，还是说什么原因？大家可以就是分享自己的。我弟，你这蠢货！他妈那个陈千亿的蠢货说我说的不标准，他说一点都不标准，你就信他说的话啦？陈千亿他妈今年23岁，啥也不会，啥也不懂，顶了个33级的那个等级，就自以为了不起了，94关注1000个粉丝，你他妈算个毛啊！ 陈千毅，我说的，你算根毛。一点都不标准。什么叫做一点？什么叫做标准？陈千毅，你是啥？你是评分标准啊？什么东西我？讲不讲粗口随我自己的便。然后讲一下下面那个小风车那个链接。然后大家如果说要找口语老师的话，然后下面那款链接的名字叫做知识共享。然后上面有各种各样来自不同国家的那些英语口语老师，让他跟我连线对话。陈千毅连英语都不会说几句吧？陈千毅，陈千毅，你也就这辈子能叫千毅了，这辈子都跟千毅搭不上边了。建议把“毅”字去掉，叫陈千，看一个月能不能赚个1000块钱。贱男人。anyways， 就是可以看一下下面那个链接，然后大家如果有需要的话，可以点击链接下载。Veronica, we don't have time for that right now. We don't have time for that right now. But like probably later, if Chen Qing would come again like later, then we can do this. But for now, we don't. But yeah. 家人们有问题可以问啊，有问题可以问。然后 OK. I think people are like actually like sharing some like their opinions.
Yeah, I see. Some people are saying marriage. Some people are saying traditionally men are the breadwinners, so women are outsiders or something like that. Yeah. So like a conservative point of view, right? Now, of course, it's changing. Yes, and women there, when they get pregnant and have children, this is kind of discrimination as well. So yeah. Yeah, these are the biggest challenges.
I would say so.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. All right, guys, thank you for sharing your opinions, and thank you for understanding what I'm saying as well. So this was a pretty difficult question, gender discrimination, okay? So let's move on to the next one. It's still about jobs. I want to ask you, Kate, do you think men and women have the same chances of promotion in Chinese companies? Or do you think men get promoted faster or slower? What do you think about this?
I would always say like currently in China, definitely like not only in China, I would say like almost like all over the world, generally speaking, men are more likely to get promoted in a way. I'm not really talking about like those like companies set up like by those like feminists only, like they only hire like women. Then of course like women are more likely to get promoted because like only women are working there. But when it comes to like like a normal like working field, I would definitely say like guys are more likely to get promoted. First of all, it's because like I've mentioned about that. It's more like men are going to be like the breadwinner, and like the wives are going to be like the ones who are actually going to take care of like the families. So they would definitely think like guys are are more likely to give like more attention to the work. That's like one thing. And the second thing is like when it comes to like in China, I would say when it comes to business, and there's a thing called like like a socialization, and like when it's to come to like some sort of like dinners, and Chinese people like drink a lot. So basically like people even say like if you drink enough alcohol, and then probably like the deal is like sealed somehow. And when it comes to like drinking, then probably like, guys are more likely to like drink more and like take care of like the rest of things. But when it comes to a woman, I think it might gonna cause a little like issues and problems as well. For example, like sexual harassment, and like like it's a real thing, to be honest. And other than that, I would also say when it comes to like the also like the physical condition. I would say like guys are probably like have like a stronger body somehow compared with women. Because like like to women, like I don't know, like beauty seems to like such a big thing. And they care about like how they look. I'm not saying like guys don't care about that, but when it comes to that, like I think women need more time to like rest up and take care of their like body and everything. And when it comes to like some like small things, and guys can actually like lift up like things because before I actually worked as a teacher, so basically people would having like this idea that like a guy could like probably could do more, when it comes to like some like handy things.
Mm-hmm.
It's true. So basically, if I would be the boss, I'd probably like hire a guy as well. It's not like I don't want to give the women like a chance, but when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to like like the for the interest of like the company, I would say
Yeah.
like the guys are like more likely to get promoted.
Okay. Yes, that's a very good explanation. Yes, I understand everything. Yeah, there are many things, and I agree. It's not just about China, right? I think it's all around the world where opportunities might be limited for women, especially when it comes to promotion and getting, to becoming like higher ups, in the firm or anything like that. Of course, it happens, but usually it comes with a sacrifice. In many cases, women have to sacrifice their family if they want to actually reach that kind of level, and that's what they usually do. But it's their choice, right? They can choose if they want to do it. Of course, they should be able to. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. So, guys, what do you think in the chat? Tell me, do men and women have the same chances of promotion in Chinese companies? Here are some options. A, yes. Ability, your skills matter more than gender now. B, no. Men get promoted faster. And C, it depends on the company culture. What do you guys think? A, yes. B, no. C, it depends on different companies. So sometimes yes, sometimes no. What do you think?
大家觉得说，就是男性会在公司里面更容易得到那个职位的提升吗？大家可以在 A、B、C 里面选出自己的选项。福先生小心哦，谢谢你帮我怼喷子，但是我怕你被人举报。Depends on OK。Cindy，然后大家说一下，下面那款链接是一个语言学习软件了。It's like actually for like a language learning. For those people who actually want to find like like a foreign tutor, like a foreign instructor to help with your like spoken English, and you guys can actually get download this. 谢谢 Cindy，然后大家可以点击注册一下，这样子，然后支持一下，然后大家有口语需要的话，比如说有时候想找个人一起聊聊天啊，或者说有雅思考试啊，或者说有英语上的工作面试啊，或者是有办美国签证的时候签证有需要啊，都可以尝试 book a session，然后模拟一下这些面试环节。或者说小朋友有那种英语演讲比赛啊之类的，like 都可以就尝试着让外教老师给他指。上面没有那个小风车吗？有的吧，有的吧，下面有小风车吧，是不是？谢谢分享，点赞、点关注，谢谢大家，谢谢 Cindy 啊。OK，家人们还有问题要问的吗？Like I think like people are actually like sharing. Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many. I see a lot of C's at the beginning, but then there was like a bunch of A's as well. I think it's kind of a mixed bag here. Everybody's saying like man, man, man. Then some are saying that it's equal. So everyone's got a different opinion. Yeah.
Okay.
But I think I tend to agree with Case. I think it's still going to be like, for the most part, men would probably get promoted. And not like maliciously, It's not like the management is going to be like, ooh, let's choose this one specifically, this man. Yeah, but usually it's because, they're just trying to think about productivity or something.
Definitely.
Maybe.
No, like
Yeah.
I mean, as like an employer, like I'm a woman, I would love to like help girls, but somehow, like if like it's the same, like a guy I know, like he can actually put more energy into work, and like there's like less family stuff according to my own understanding towards people. I mean, this man could be different, but like I said, like this man could drive pretty well and could like carry some shit when sometimes like it comes to handy or whatever. Like generally speaking, like you would still like hire a man, or like actually like if there's like opportunity, you would probably still like give this chance to a man. And there's another thing about like women that is like women are a little bit like nosy, and they like gossiping around. And when it comes to like like a company management, I would still say you don't want like people to like spreading like gossips all the time, and you want people to take care of like their own thing. There's like some sort of like a nature thing about like different genders as well.
Yeah, I guess so. I think that a lot of men also like gossip. I mean, it depends, of course, but like in general, right? If we look at groups of people, yeah, I kind of agree with you.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, guys. And also, by the way, right? If you're not ready to book a session with me, you can actually follow my accounts. There was like a chat log with my account name here, Igor Business English. Okay, you can follow me there if you want to take some quizzes, improve your professional English. I make some fun videos, so you can follow me as well and just learn for free. Up to you.
Yeah，家人们可以关注一下Igor，like feel free to follow Igor as well。
Yes.
谢谢老板娘。谢谢
Okay. Okay. Yes, that's right. So, all right, let's move on to the next one. The next thing I wanted to ask you is about salaries.
Okay.
Kate, what do you think? Do women in China earn as much as men in the same position? Or do you think it's actually different?
Well, I would say if like they were actually doing the same job with the same positions, I would say like they would like pretty much like earn the same amount of money. That would be the same. But if like
Okay.
men are actually like, doing some like extra job, like extra work, then it's gonna be different. But if they are doing exactly the same amount of work, I would say like they would earn the same amount of money. Depends how. Like if for those people who are saying depends, like tell me why. Just because like you're a man and I am a woman, we're doing the same amount of work and with like the same job title and everything. 对啊，我说的是，如果说你的工作量是一样的，然后你完成的工作也是一样的，就只是男女性别不一样，然后就会导致你赚的钱不一样吗？Well, right? Like with the same experience, with same capacity, like capability, and I think they would be able to earn like the same amount of money somehow.
Yeah, maybe. But the thing like you said before, that I think that sometimes employers will look at the productivity, and think about the potential. I think that it's not really about like the position. I mean, in the same position, I think women might earn a little bit lower because maybe of negotiations for the salary, Like when you negotiate, sometimes sometimes maybe men negotiate more aggressively and they ask for more money sometimes when they get a new job. That's one thing maybe. And the second thing is maybe like sometimes employers don't want to give as high of a salary, maybe like by a few thousand, a few thousand lower, because they think, like she's going to take a maternal leave in the future. We want to compensate for that, like you said before. What do you think about this?
I mean, basically, like I think like to a lot of people, like the seller is like also like it's like it's just like a certain amount of money somehow. Of course, if you like discuss about like like the contract and everything, well there could be like difference, but like basically if like they're actually like offering the same job and they talked about this, I mean there's a contract there, like they should be able to get like the same amount of money. Of course, if like the women is not really like bargaining about like the salary, that's gonna be like a different thing. But if like women are actually like also like like strive for like their salary and like trying to like negotiate with them, I think they would be able to actually get the same amount of money if they can be like as productive as a guy. That otherwise
Yeah, but you
it'll
see,
be
like, you're saying like even if, right? But I'm just talking about the real situation. Like
yeah.
if they're productive, right? If they don't take maternal leave and if they negotiate like fiercely and fight for the salary that they want, then yes, they would get paid higher. But a lot of them don't, right?
Well, yeah, could be the case.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like kind of just looking at the reality, the real situation. Like ideally, yes, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Now, how about you? How about your opinion over here? I'm going to give you some options. Do women in China earn as much as men in the same position? Let me give you options. A, yes, pay is equal. B, no, men earn more. And C, no C, just yes or no. What do you guys think? Do women earn as much as men in China in the same position? A, yes, B, no. Tell me.
大家觉得说在中国，然后如果男女生他们的职位是一样的，他们会赚一样多的钱，还是说男生会赚的比女生更多，然后怎么样的，或者说就是 depends, I don't know. I think most people would say the same. Like otherwise, like it would be like really unfair somehow. But in China, I would definitely say that. Like I think like it was the same job title and like the position, they would actually be able to earn like in most cases they would like be able to earn the same amount of money.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, guys. I'm looking at your comments. A lot of you are saying A or the same, the same. Some people are saying it depends.
Thank you. But it's still man's world. I know. We're actually talking about like the gender inequality, like in like work field.
Yes. Same if they did the same job.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, like sometimes when I think about it, my perception would be kind of the same, that women and men would earn the same. But like the things that make me think that it's a bit different, and that's why like in statistics we see that there is a gender pay gap, is probably because of these two things, maybe like negotiation, you know, and also the employers just offering lower salary because they want to compensate for like the future losses. Something like that.
But they have to like.
But I think it's better than before, yeah.
But they have to like discuss about this like before though. Like otherwise, like if all of a sudden like you actually know like you're getting like a lower salary than a man, like if you guys are doing the same job or like same amount of work, and like I think like women would like actually complain about this somehow.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But you know, like that's the thing about some companies. A lot of companies, they don't allow their employees to discuss their salaries, and it's like, yeah, many people think that it's like a taboo. You know, taboo to discuss their salaries, and the corporate culture makes everyone think that's ooh, you know, we shouldn't talk about it. Yeah. So a lot of the time, and like if you don't have a labor union, you know, where people cannot share, where people cannot organize, then sometimes these things happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Okay, guys, I see a bunch of your answers. Thank you. Right? A lot of you think it's the same. I understand it. Right? And so let's move on to the next one, the next question then. So now I want to ask about families. I want to ask you, Kate, what do parents usually expect more from daughters? Do they expect them to find a stable job? Do they expect them to have a family all the time? To compete with men? Or what's like the expectation in China right now about daughters?
I think they would still like want their daughter to get like a good husband and have like their own family. That would still like be like the main goal. I think for most like Chinese parents, they still think. I mean, it's not only for girls, for guys as well, for their sons as well. They just really want their kids to have a family, so they could have like like a grandson, like grandchild or whatever. So like they could just like feel like their mission is accomplished somehow. Of course, getting a nice job is also like really important. But like I would say like to Chinese people, family is like kind of like like more important, and people would prioritize like a family before job. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So it's not just for daughters, right? It's also for
sons
the sons
as well.
too.
Yeah, but like for guys, I guess like because like like the money talks and money makes the world go round. If like their son is like really rich, then probably their parents don't even get a say in this somehow, because like they're old and they don't they cannot really make money. But if the parents are still be like the sponsors, if they have to like buy a house for their son, then the son just have to like build a family. They have to listen to their parents. But like a family really matters.
So money is like control.
Yeah,
right?
Money talks.
So it's like if you become successful in your career, then you get to choose, right? Your parents don't dictate, right? As much.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's quite interesting. Quite interesting. Well, guys, what do you think? Can you tell me in the chat? What do parents usually expect more from daughters? Here are some options. A, to find a stable job quickly. B, to balance career and family. And C, to compete with men. How about your family? Maybe you can tell me about your family. How's it in your family, guys?
就是你们家庭里面，你觉得说对女儿的更多的那个要求是什么？大家觉得说对一个女性来说，就是家人对你的期待更多的是什么？或者在你看来，作为一个男性，你看来就是家人对你更多的要求是什么？作为一个女生来说，I think a lot of people are actually saying B.
Yeah, I see. B, B, 2, B. Someone said C. Compete. Take care of them when they get old.
I see snake. A and B. Oh god, oh god. But I think like
Find a stable family to marry into.
I mean, like I've mentioned about that before. I mean, this is not only for like daughters, also for like sons, because like Chinese people, they really prioritize like the family thing.
If you don't mind me asking, how about your family, Kate? What do they expect? What did they expect from you?
They do want me to have like a boyfriend. They do want me to like have like a family somehow and have a kid at least. Well, like, my mom has like the lowest expectation she's having for me right now is like if I'm not going to get married, then she hope like I could get a baby or something. I mean, she doesn't really expect me to be with any man because she thinks I'm like pretty much like a weirdo or whatever. Like I have like too strong of like a personality sometimes. And she doesn't think I would really be able to like get along well with a man for a long run. But she thinks I should at least like have my own kid. But I think I'm a very nice woman though. I mean, probably I'm not like a wife material, but I could be like 100% like a girlfriend material. Just saying.
That's quite interesting, yeah. Okay, so I see, guys. Thank you for your answers. Right, A, B. A lot of people are saying B. Yeah, family happiness. Okay, so we talked about daughters, but I want to ask you, Kate, about sons. What do parents usually expect more from sons? Is it actually family, or is it having like a leadership, or is it high salary? What's like the most important thing there?
I was like I said before, like I think money talks. So like whoever is like the bread earner in this family, that person gets a say in this, and the most of the say in this. People have to listen to that person. Because he pays for everything. He pays the bills. You have to.
Yes. Okay. Yes, I totally get it. Now, guys, can you tell me as well? I want to ask you, what do parents usually expect more from sons? So let me give you some options. A, have a family. B, have a high salary. And C, I don't know. Like, be good around the house. Something like that. What do you guys think? A, family. B, salary. C, being handy, and be good around the house. Kate, are you the only child? Are you an only child in your family?
No, I have like a sister who's like 15 years younger than me, but she's like pretty much an accident. It's not like my parents was trying to have like a second baby, but like accidentally, like my mom got pregnant, so I have a sister.
Oh, we have something in common. I also have a brother who is 15 years younger than me and potentially an accident too.
Ah, nice.
Yeah. How old was your mom at that time when she
I think she's
gave
like
birth?
40 or 39-ish. 40 or 39-ish.
Mine too. 40 years old.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, yes. Thanks, guys. I see like everybody has different things. Some must have ABC, all of them at the same time.
What a coincidence.
Do you think there was too much pressure from families on boys and girls in Chinese families?
I would say so. There was a girl who was like connecting with me like the other day, and she was crying because like she thinks she's getting older. She's like in her 30s, and her parents was like really like like stressing her out because they would love her to get married or whatever. And she was crying about this. I think she's like in a way she's like thinking about like her parents was like getting older, and everybody is like, getting older somehow. They are getting older all the time. And like the only wish they actually have for their daughter is like to see her having a family. And she's like think like she's like not really being a good daughter or whatever, and she's like you know like blaming herself a lot. So
Yeah.
yeah.
That's crazy. And I know that there are a lot of situations where, children really suffer and get like trauma for the rest of their life because of that.
咱们可以就是点击下面那个小黄车，然后下载一下这个软件，然后 Ego 是这个软件上的一个老师，然后 what we're doing like a demonstration basically， 我们在做一个展示，就是我能得到的那个课程的服务，就是你们能得到课程服务，然后上面有各种各样不一样的老师，大家可以根据自己的需要来选择。如果说你是男生，你想要个美女跟你上课，那边有美女老师；如果你是个女生，你想要帅哥跟你上课，of course you can get Igor。然后还有就是，如果大家要参加雅思考试，或者说参加口语面试，或者是宝宝要上一些口语课的，大家都可以通过这款 app 上选择自己适合的老师。我今天说 really you need it nice for all you do。OK。就是大家可以点击下载这个软件，然后看一下自己有什么喜欢的老师，然后注册一下。大家可以根据自己的需求去看 ，OK。Well, yeah, let's keep rolling, I guess.
Yeah, that's right. Well, the last question I have, of course, it's about the future. So, Kate, I want to ask you, do you think in the next 10 years, the gender equality in China will improve?
Yeah, I think so. I think this is like the trend somehow, because I think in a way like Chinese people actually hate this because they think like a lot of like girls are being like brainwashed by like this like Western culture, so-called Western culture, and they think like those girls are being a little like too confident. I actually feel like there is actually such a thing in China. But I think in a way it's just because like like those women are trying to like liberate themselves like from like like putting too much energy and effort in the family or whatever. So like probably they're doing it like a little bit like too extreme. So there's such a thing called like a radical feminism. But I would still say like like there's like another feminism is called like liberal feminism. So basically people like women are just trying to like trying to like earn the rights, like get like at least like the rights to get a job, I would say. At least enjoy the same opportunity and chance. And also like in China I would still say like I watched like a video today that was like a woman's like doing almost like all the houseworks and like all the chores, and still like the husband was like complaining about it, and like the guy was also like beating her, like this like domestic violence somehow. And because of like those kind of like feminism shit like going on in our life, and women know like their worth and their value, and they're not really being treated in a way they actually deserve. So they would like fight back and stand up for themselves, and I think this is actually a good thing. I think people or like those women like how do we actually have those ideas, because we got those things from like the society, through our parents, from the last generation or whatever. But we need to have like the right mindset and the right like I don't know, awareness of like we deserve to be treated in a way we deserve somehow, at least like fairly, and instead of like feeling like inferior to guys because I'm a woman, so I have to do this, I have to do that. No, that's not true. At least we should have those sort of like awareness and be like a little like more conscious in a way.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I get what you're saying. I think it makes a lot of sense. Yeah. So I totally get it. Now guys, what do you think in the chat? This is the last question for you, okay? Tell me, do you think in the next 10 years, the gender equality in China will improve? A, yes, because society is changing fast. B, maybe, but it will be very slow. And C, no, traditions are still very, very strong. What do you guys think? A, yes, B, maybe, and C, no.
大家觉得说未来10年的话，就是性别平等或者女性的权利会进一步被提高吗？大家怎么看待这个东西？
What, A, B, C? They're all different answers. How can you say A, B, C? Okay, maybe. But the marriage rate will also decrease.
Can I ask you a question though?
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe in marriage?
In marriage?
Do you believe
yeah,
in marriage?
I think so.
You do?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Well,
like,
currently for you, have you ever like thought about like getting married with anyone right now? Have you ever thought about that?
Yeah, I did. It's like you think about the future all the time. I think yeah, I mean, some people I know that they have problems with this kind of concept and they think that too, as society develops, it kind of becomes irrelevant. But I still think that it's kind of important to show like some sense of loyalty. I know it makes things complicated, but some things become easier at the same time. So I think that it's okay. And it depends. I don't believe in like big weddings, stuff like that. I don't really care about that. But I believe in maybe like
Commitment.
marriage. Yeah, commitment. Something like that.
谢谢天天顺 ，Thank you for 真爱你，谢谢。
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Thank you. Thank you for your answers over here as well. I'm reading all of them. Don't forget to maybe follow me if you're not ready to get a session with me, and pay for that. You can follow me and watch my videos. Maybe in the future, you are going to be in, a situation where you need to practice your job interview skills, or maybe improve your professional speaking skills and stuff like that. Don't forget to follow me there. Follow me on the Mini app as well. Download it, and I'll see you next week, maybe.
Nice. We're looking forward to seeing you next week then. Well, thanks for joining us.
No problem. See you next time.
See you
Thank
next
you,
time.
guys.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Igor.
Bye bye.
拜拜。家人们结束了。下面那个小风车链接还在，家人们有需要的可以点击下载，然后注册一下，然后也欢迎就尝试和上面的老师有一个交流的机会，然后我也在上面。对，就是不管你是零基础啊，或者你有一定基础，你都能找到适合自己的老师在上面。So yeah, we're just basically doing like a demonstration, and I'm always like doing a session with like Igor, so you guys know like he's good. 谢谢大家。那我们现在这个对话环节 like the promotion session is like over, and we're gonna start to do our thing, I guess. 谢谢关注，我们要重开咯。家长有需要的话，可以点击下载一下下面的软件。I'm going to like go drink some water. How was COVID? Thanks for asking. Well, probably can tell from my voice. Still pretty bad. But like I feel like I'm getting better.我不是老师 I'm not a teacher. Well, yeah, like, do I sound like a truck driver somehow? 我听上去像个卡车司机吗？像个男人吗？ Do I sound like a truck driver? I don't know. Sorry about this. I don't want to be like that. Yeah, I got COVID. I've been positive for like 4 days somehow. 我已经就阳了4天了。Kardashian today. Which Kardashian though? 点赞点关注啦，谢谢 Christina。小朋友点赞点关注，然后下面那个小风车链接可以点一下，然后我们重开咯，谢谢大家。我有吃药，我现在就去准备喝点水，再吃点药，然后回来找你们，好不好？谢谢大家，是，好几天了咳嗽。谢谢大家。